Guys, I have a serious question on this quick clip. Now that we have a new world heavyweight champion in the UFC in Tom Aspinall, who would you like to see as Tom Aspinall's first undisputed UFC heavyweight title defense? Who? You know, I did, I saved the screen, I checked on my phone to see who the current top 15 in the UFC's heavyweight division are. And I'm going to run through that list right now. So we have Tom Aspinall at number 1. We have, as champion, we have Ciryl Gane at number 1, Alexander Volkov at number 2, Pavlovich at number 3, Curtis Blades at number 4, Jailton Almeida at number 5, Cortez Acosta at number 6, Tybura is 7, Spivak is 8, Derek Lewis is 9, Tai Tuivasa is number 10, and almost the rest are not interesting at all. However, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, on this list, quite frankly, Tom Aspinall has beaten Alexander Volkov, he's beaten Pavlovich, and he's beaten Curtis Blades. These are number 2 to 4 on the top 5. And quite frankly, I'm not interested in seeing a Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, at this point, is not an active fighter. He hasn't fought in the UFC, I believe, in a little bit of a while. And he's more focused right now on his acting career. So, I don't know that I'm interested in seeing a Ciryl Gane fight. Or even if he's deserving, and I understand that the numbers speak for themselves. He's the number 1 contender right now in the rankings, but has he really earned the title shot against Tom Aspinall? No. I would rather somebody who's more of an active fighter. And the first person that comes to my mind, Jailton Almeida, number 5. And let's not talk about rankings anymore, guys. The rankings in the UFC don't matter. It's all about entertainment and what the fans want to see. In fact, actually, quite frankly, I don't even know if it's really about what the fans want to see anymore. Because so many times we want to see some fights and the UFC just doesn't put that together. It just doesn't. We've tried, we've put some outrage out there, it makes no difference, right? So, who do we got? Other than Jailton Almeida, who else is exciting in the UFC's top 15, or top 10, not top 15, top 10 that Tom Aspinall hasn't beaten? There is nobody else. Yeah, that's the state of the heavyweight division. That is why I thought it was a complete travesty for anybody to suggest to Tom Aspinall that he should defend the interim title belt against anyone, and particularly not against Ciryl Gane. It was a travesty to me. But right now, there's nobody that is that exciting in that division for the champion to face, except Jailton Almeida. And guys, think about it. Almeida is a very good contender. He has a good record. He's on a win streak. Tom hasn't fought him. They move pretty much almost the same. They're young, both young, athletic. They're about the same size. And Jailton would be an exciting fight for Tom. He really would. If you guys disagree, that's also fine. But then suggest to me who you think Tom Aspinall should fight. Who should he fight? Absolutely nobody in the top 10. He's beaten them before. Now, if you want to tickle my balls a little bit, if you want to, make me feel good and get my loins, bubbly, let me throw something in the mix right now. The Predator, Francis Ngannou. Guys, think about it for a little minute. Since Francis Ngannou left the UFC, his boxing career has not exactly been spectacular, but his fighting and MMA career has. He had the first boxing match against Tyson Fury. We also saw how that went. Arguably, we know he won that fight. Arguably, even if he didn't win it on paper, arguably, Francis Ngannou gave, okay, at the very least, Francis Ngannou gave Tyson Fury a run for his money. You understand how crazy that sounds, but it happened. Right? Then he faced Anthony Joshua, and we also saw how that went down too. My boy got knocked the fuck out. He was removed from consciousness. It's like, consciousness go this way, Francis, you stay over here. You know? Anthony Joshua did our boy dirty, but it's fine. But then he goes back into MMA and becomes the PFL world champion. So Francis is literally the champion, a former UFC champion in the heavyweight division, who is now a current PFL champion, so a current UFC, why am I mixing this shit up? A former UFC champion who is now a current UFC heavyweight champion in a rival promotion. Uncle Dana, you always talk about business. Business is business. And there are indications and rumors floating around the internet, and the fans are excited that Francis Ngannou may be coming back to the UFC. And I understand that Uncle Dana shut that down at the UFC post-fight press conference in Baku. I get it. And I have no qualms with Uncle Dana's position. He can go back and forth with Francis, I really don't care. But guys, let's look at this and the potential for the super fight that can be Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou. Considering the state of the UFC's heavyweight division, that division needs a super fight so bad to create some kind of momentum, some kind of something. It needs something. It needs some excitement. And right now, I don't see anybody in the top 10, top 15 that can make it exciting enough for us to pay attention to the UFC's heavyweight division now that Jon Jones has retired. And we have a new champion in Tom Aspinall. The possibility of it. Think about it for a little bit. Honestly, for me, Tom Aspinall, if you could get Tom Aspinall to fight Jailton Almeida, if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to bring Francis from PFL back into the UFC, or if everybody can just deflate their egos a little bit and try to work out a business deal and bring in Francis Ngannou back to the UFC, even if it's for one fight, one super fight between Francis Ngannou and Tom Aspinall, that will completely make my day. And I know you guys want to see that. Because like it or not, other than maybe Tom Aspinall, and probably even including Tom Aspinall, nobody in the UFC's top 15 heavyweight division, in fact, I'm going to repeat that, nobody in the UFC's heavyweight division, including the champ, moves the needle like Francis Ngannou. Not a single person. None. I'm sorry. It's what it is. Not even Tom Aspinall. All the buzz Tom Aspinall has been making in the last year is because he was tied to Jon Jones. Francis Ngannou doesn't need to be tied to Jon Jones to make a buzz. People want to see Francis fight. Whether it's in boxing or it's in MMA. Let's be real. People are going to argue that maybe, he didn't pull numbers in the PFL, the last fight he had in PFL for the title. But I'll tell you what though, the fact that he won at PFL and became the heavyweight champion, that made news. That resonated across the MMA sphere and the MMA community globally. Let's be real, Francis does numbers People want to see Francis either get KO'd or knock people out. He's a dangerous man, he still is. And after that display with Cyril Gane, you know, Francis hasn't lost his last 2 or so or 3 fights in MMA. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying this. And I'm a Francis fan. He's part of the 3 Kings, and I always emphasize that era. Just something to point out, something to think about, Uncle Dana. But then I also think about Tom Aspinall generally and how much pressure is on him right now. He may be the champion, but can you imagine if Tom Aspinall fights 2 more fights and he doesn't make it through? Maybe he tries 1 title defense and loses, or he tries 2 title defenses and loses. Oh my God, John Jones is going to have a swell time on Twitter if Tom Aspinall loses anytime within the next 3 years. Doesn't matter who he loses to. John Jones will be all over Twitter. I cannot even imagine it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. You guys tell me what you think. Should Tom Aspinall face Jailton Almeida? Or should the UFC go out of its way to bring back Francis the Predator Ngannou for that super fight with the current UFC heavyweight champion, Mr. Tom Aspinall? You already know which one gave you a hard on, guys. Now, forward that message to Uncle Dana. Mr. TDC out. Peace!